Hello, sweet friends. I hope you're doing well. Today is going to be a little bit different. We're going to try this little voiceover thing and we're going to see how it goes. So if you enjoy it, I invite you to subscribe for more. Comment down below and give me some of your thoughts. Are you married? If so, what has it taught you? And if you're not married, what do you feel God is teaching you in this season? I'd love to continue the conversation below. Okay, now let's get started. My husband and I recently celebrated 8 years of marriage, and over those years, God has taught me so much about love, patience, humility, and what marriage really looks like behind the scenes. Marriage isn't always the picture-perfect moments that we see online. It's everyday life, raising kids, working through challenges, learning each other's differences, and growing together. These are the 8 lessons that have shaped our marriage. So the first one that I've got: love is a choice, you guys. It's not just a feeling. When you first get married, love can feel effortless, but over time, you realize love is also a daily choice. Choosing patience when you're tired, kindness when you're frustrated, and grace when life feels overwhelming. I want to share a verse that I keep coming back to, and I really would encourage you to also go back to it. 1 Corinthians 13, verse 4 through 7. Charity suffereth long and is kind. Charity envieth not. Charity vaunteth not itself, is not puffed up, doth not behave itself unseemly, seeketh not her own, is not easily provoked, thinketh no evil, rejoiceth not in iniquity, but rejoiceth in the truth, beareth all things, believeth all things, hopeth all things, and endureth all things. Which pretty much summed up is love is patient, love is kind, it always protects, it always trusts, and it always hopes, and it always perseveres. Now, the second point I wanted to make was communication solves pretty much everything. Many problems in marriage come from miscommunication or assumptions, and that is definitely something that Nathan and I, even after 8 years, are still learning. You see, I come from a family where one might think we communicate way too much. We don't wait long enough to communicate. And my husband comes from a family who communicates little to none. And I think that there can be a meeting ground for both of them. I can learn to wait a little while to communicate, and I feel that my husband has been learning how to communicate a little bit more. Taking time to listen, speak calmly, and understanding each other can prevent small frustrations from becoming big issues. Another verse I wanted to point you guys to was James 1:19. Talks about how we should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. I'm sure you guys know the verse. The next one I wanted to talk about was giving grace, and I mean a lot of it, you guys. Marriage reminds us that both people are human. I'm human, just like Nathan's human. There's going to be mistakes and there's going to be hard days. Choosing forgiveness and grace creates peace, and it keeps resentment from growing. Something I wanted to kind of add to that is also, I was 18 and my husband was 19 when we got married. And I can go more in depth in a video about that if you guys are interested. But something that I don't think either one of us realized getting married so young is we were very young and we don't have it all figured out. And we had to really learn how to give a lot of grace and really pray through a lot, because I was growing up and my husband's growing up. And that can be pretty hard to do in a marriage when you are not bringing God first. And we really, really had to learn that. The next one is kind of an obvious one, but you're on the same team, you guys. Disagreements can make it feel like you're against each other, but in reality, you're building a life together. When you see challenges as something to solve together, unity grows. And remember, the devil, his number one priority is to break up your family, you guys. Do not let him do it. Ecclesiastes 4:9-10 talks about how 2 are better than 1. Even if either one of them falls down, one can help the other up. The fifth point I wanted to make is the small things matter, you guys. It's not always about big romantic gestures, big trips, or anything like that that can strengthen a marriage. Often it's the little acts of kindness, little things. Me making my husband's breakfast in the morning before he goes to work, which I really, really am praying that I can get better at. In this season of having little children, it can be pretty hard to get up super early in the morning. But I know that my husband loves it, so I'm praying about being able to get up and actually do that for him. Or making his favorite meal for dinner, or getting his clothes downstairs when I know he's on his way home because he likes his clothes in the bathroom when he's done taking a shower. I know that that's something that he really, truly loves. And my husband taking the baby and giving him a bath for me at nighttime. That's such a small thing, but it's such a big thing to me in my heart. Luke 16:10 says, whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much. So the little things. There's time for big things, you guys. There's time for the big romantic trips and the big romantic gifts. But let me tell you something. If my husband gets me a vacuum for Christmas, I am so blessed by that. I have heard where other wives, they might feel that something for the house isn't a real true gift. But let me tell you something. My daily job, it's very time consuming. And if my husband gets me a vacuum, he knows that that's going to cut my daily chores pretty much in half, because I'm not having to sweep and then do all these things. I'm just vacuuming and then I'm mopping. So small things, you guys, the small things matter. The next point that I wanted to bring up, and arguably probably the most important one, is prayer changes everything, you guys. Inviting God into your marriage through prayer brings wisdom, patience, and peace. Praying for your spouse often softens your heart and reminds you God is working in both of your lives. Just the other day, we've actually been dealing with some sick kiddos, and I haven't been getting a lot of sleep, and that can make one pretty grumpy. And I found myself getting really frustrated at my husband because he sleeps pretty much through the night, which is very normal because I have a nursing baby. And what in the world is your husband going to do if your baby wants to nurse? So even knowing that, even understanding that, and even being okay with that, when you're tired and you're grumpy, the devil likes to get in there and try to remind you that you're human. And I did find myself getting very grumpy, and I was just sinning in my thoughts, and to be very honest, I just was not doing great. And I really felt the Lord come down and remind me through actually an Instagram post from someone. And it was just a reminder that the devil wants to break up the family unit, and the devil wants us to be angry at our spouse and not have forgiveness. And there's a Bible verse that I wanted to actually bring up. Colossians 3:13 talks about bearing with each other and forgiving one another, and forgive as the Lord forgave me. And I was really appreciative to that because I know that God forgave me. And when I apologized to my husband about it the next day, he forgave me. And I don't know, it was just a little reminder that we're human. And through prayer, it changes everything. And I was easily and quickly reminded that my husband is my teammate. He is my spouse. He is my love. And I'm not actually mad at him. I'm just really, really tired. Another quick example I wanted to use really quick about prayer changing everything is, you don't know how many times I have gotten on my knees and started praying for God to change something in my husband. God, change this. He's doing this. Please change this. And I can't tell you how many times God has actually shown me what I'm doing wrong in that situation, you guys. It's not only praying that God will change your spouse, but pray that God will change your heart too. Because a lot of times, and actually mean it, because a lot of times we don't realize that our heart is the one that's shut and closed off to what God is trying to teach us in that season. Even if your husband is wrong, maybe God is using him as a tool in that season to see if you are going to react and respond with a biblical view. Are you yelling at him? Are you talking bad about him behind his back? Are you sinning against him behind his back? Or are you praying for him when you feel he's done wrong? Are you praying for him when he's upset or you feel like maybe he's treating you poorly? Are you praying for him, or are you judging him and sinning against him when those things are happening? That is just a little something I wanted to add, and I don't know. I felt led to add that. So I hope that it strikes the right chord in your heart, because it can. Trust me, it's hard to hear, but I really pray that you heard it with grace. The next point that I wanted to make is marriage takes work, you guys. Marriage takes work. A strong marriage takes effort. It takes patience and commitment through every single season. The work you put into loving and supporting each other builds a lasting foundation. That is pretty self-explanatory. I really like the, the saying that, if you only saw your spouse on Sundays, just like, going to church on Sundays, is that really a relationship? If I only saw my husband when he got home from work and we didn't talk at all during the day and we said, hi, love you, good night, see you tomorrow afternoon, like what kind of relationship is that? No, we need to put time, we need to put effort, we need to put love into our marriage if we want it to last. Being together is probably my favorite part of the day because I married this person. He is my person. And I have to put time into that. Even if I'm tired, I need to sit with him. We need to make eye contact and we need to, check in with each other. How are you? What can I pray for? Is there something that you're battling? Is there anything that I can go to my knees about? Things like that really go a long way in a marriage. And the 8th point that I want to bring up, you guys, is marriage is one of God's greatest gifts. Marriage is a blessing. It's not a curse, you guys. You don't have to slave for this person for your whole life as a wife. You don't have to slave for them as a husband. You don't have to go to work and slave for her for the rest of your life. It's a blessing. Walking through life with your person who knows you deeply and chooses you every day, it's building a home, a family, and a life together, you guys. A man leaves his father and mother and is united to his wife. They become one flesh. That's Genesis 2:24. You guys, marriage it's the best. And it's going to have its challenges. And it's going to have its days where you're like, okay, I'm tired. I'm a little grumpy. Maybe I need to go pray. Maybe I need to go for a walk. But I'm not actually mad at this person. I love this person. And I married this person for a reason. God brought us together to become one for a reason. And let us always be mindful of that. And let us always remember that God brought us together and let no man ever separate what God joins together. You guys, that's it. That's all I have to talk about today. I really, really, really hope you enjoyed. If you have any comments, please let me know down below. I would love to continue the conversation down below. How long have you been married? What has God taught you in your marriage? What are some things that you're still learning, that you're working on? Do you have any questions about marriage? If you're not married, then what is God teaching you in this season of being single? Because I really, truly believe God is working in your singleness as well. God brings people in your lives at different times for very, very, very specific reasons, and try to be very mindful of that. If you are with someone that you don't think aligns with the word and what God stands for, then really get on your knees and really fervently pray, is this relationship something that I'm supposed to be a part of? Because I promise you, the person you marry, it matters. It really, truly matters. This is the person you're most likely going to have children with. You're going to have, a family. You're going to grow a life with. And guys, it really, really matters who you marry. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you for joining me today. I really hope and pray that you enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys next time. Love you guys. God bless. Bye. Oh, I really wanted to mention really quick while I'm editing the video, if you have a prayer request, please comment down below. I'd love to pray for you. And if it's something that you don't want to share publicly, find me on Instagram. My username is the same thing as my YouTube one. And message me privately. And I am so, so happy to pray for you. Okay, you guys. I love you so much. God bless, and have a great rest of your day.